can't. Oh my god! I'll pop one. My wife's gonna kill me, guys. This is the biggest card I ever pulled in my life. Oh my god! Let's go! One of one, Giannis. Holy.
Auctions right now in the comments. Who wants to fire Jordan Poole? Welcome to Stepback Sports Podcast, episode 3. Episode 1, as far as having a guest goes, our first guest. I'll let him introduce himself.
What's going on, guys? I am Riley Johnson. You guys probably seen on Facebook as Riley Archer. It's code name. Keep things safe from my old coach. I probably can change that now, but so we're here talking cards. I got into where should I start? So I got into cards around about September of last year, I believe. Yeah. So my dad was kind of getting into cards like a couple months before that because of, and I'm huge into baseball. That's like my number one sport. Growing up, I played baseball all my life and got into other sports as well. But baseball was always number one for me. So my interest was always there. And with the rookies in baseball that year, my dad thought that like it was a good thing to invest in like their rookie cards because they had Fernando Tatis, Eloy Jimenez. What else is there? Pete Alonso. And there's one other one, but all just complete studs. And we thought that, that was a no-brainer. And I'd go to the store. We'd rip Series 2 quite a bit. Walk right past that Prism basketball many of times for some reason. But I noticed everyone online was selling basketball. And I noticed it was still on the shelves and people were reselling boxes and stuff. So I grabbed a couple boxes here and there to rip and, kept going. Hit my first Tyler Harrow autograph. All of a sudden I was addicted from there. Basketball was my thing after that. Started investing heavily into my favorite team, the Bulls. Poor team last year. I was buying Kobe Whites for $1 a piece. What else?
Talk about the STAXX game. Talk about the STAXX.
Okay, so I saw a lot of people selling singles or whatever, and I saw a lot of, like I said it before, I was into baseball heavily, and I noticed like a game on Facebook groups, people running STAXX, 100 cards, so many chasers. A chaser would be like a bigger prize, and I'd always buy in, trying to get that Eloy autograph, that kind of stuff, like Trout short prints. And I thought to myself, I've been buying all this basketball stuff because it's on the shelves. And I was like, I see a lot more people selling basketball than I do baseball. And I decided, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do that. And I got a bunch of like decent stuff together and made my own game out of it and basketball. And I kind of, at first, it got overwhelming. I got on live on Facebook for the first time, and I got my PayPal just pinging off the chain. Like, I'd never thought I would. Here I am in a college dorm making more money than I ever thought I would, running out of cards for top loaders and all that stuff. But yeah, completely crazy. I ended up doing that I'm still doing it, but I ended up doing that for like 7 straight months consistently, and just doing really good money wise. In the STAXX, I just put in like colored parallels, rookies, and like I said, I was getting a lot of boxes of Prism in my area. No one was collecting cards, so every Walmart, Meijer, Target you could go to in the area was full of basketball cards. When I was seeing online, like people flipping boxes like nuts, doubling their money, and I was just buying to rip, and I was taking all the cards that I would rip and I'd put it in the STAXX, and I was every rookie parallel and stuff I was getting $4 a card for. So it ended up being like huge money for me, and to be honest, it was a solid deal for them too, because you couldn't find Prism anywhere. My STAXX game was filled with it. So
Good
I
chasers
mean,
too. Good chasers.
yeah, I had like Zion base, and at the time they were only $70 cards. So it was, I was always online buying stuff. I remember buying like Kobe White autos for like $15, and I was always making sure there was good stuff that people could win. So it wasn't necessarily like you took a chance playing the game, but when you won good. I always made sure like if you win, you win. So I really got a big following and a big reputation for that. And I'm sure if you're in any Facebook groups, you see STAXX like crazy. And I'm telling you, for basketball, I was the OG. I was number one. No one else did it.
I'll vouch for him. He was like known as like the STAXX guy. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if that's even how I first met Riley. I actually forget how we met. I think I messaged him.
I bought something off. I bought something off of you, and oh, dude, I thought like this guy, like you. I really wanted something off you, and you were like firm, like, oh, this guy. He's like, come to my group. Like, I do my own thing, like I break here and there. I'm like, I wasn't big into breaking because I could get all this stuff myself, and that kind of slowed down a little bit, and I hopped in a couple of breaks with you, and now we're here.
The rest is history. Yeah, I mean,
yes.
Like for anyone who doesn't know context, so we do not know each other in real life. So I met Riley through cards. We literally probably talk 5 days of the week, like messaging, talking about cards. And for me, so when I used to see Riley go live like at least 4 nights a week, and I wish we could show a video on the screen, but literally in a college dorm, he had roommates in the same room as him, and it was like the concrete walls in the back, like the actual little dorm room. I could just see him in there. I mean, he was just selling out every night. That he was selling out all the time. He ran out of supplies. I remember that. I've been on a stream, ran out of supplies, like top loaders, ran out of shipping supplies, and all that stuff. So it was crazy for me to see.
I wasn't prepared. I was expecting, to make a little more money to go buy some more cards, and here I was. I ended up making enough money off this stuff to pay off my student loans. I've strictly off STAXX. I paid off my student loans. I was like 3,000 ish in debt, and I bounced around from school to school. I made some mistakes, but I mean, card thing dug me out of a hole, man. I'm grateful for me finding this. I thank my dad a lot because he was giving me crap about it. He's like, baseball's always like, it's always been the thing to do, and basketball changed the game, and it's definitely changed my life for sure.
Like what people don't realize, like there's possibility for anyone to do it. Riley just took it by the horns and just trotted out and was consistent, and he had good stuff. There's plenty of STAXX that are very, very lackluster and poor. People make these games up that are just like, you can't win. Even if you do win, you don't win anything good. So he would always buy Kobe White autos. He always had Marvin Bagley autos. Just, I think to troll me. I'm not sure.
I was trying to get you in. I've gotten you to play once, and I know it wasn't necessarily for you, but I got you once. I always like paid attention because I saw like you always took a different approach with cards than me in the beginning. I looked at a card like I can make. All right, this is a rookie card. I can make $4 off this card. Like, there's no reason why I can't get $4 for every rookie card. That's how I looked at it. And every parallel. Like I open a box, a $20 box, and it comes with how many parallels, how many rookies. That's at least, if it's not at the time I looked at it as Zion and Ja. If it's not those guys, then that's $4. And to be honest, like back then, you look back at it, and I could have made, if I kept a lot of my Ja or Kobe's or some other guys right now, like Kevin Porter Jr., not really Kevin Porter Jr. right now, but some of these lower tiered guys that Keldon Johnson, you can get some decent money for. I left a lot of money on the table, but right then and there, it wasn't worth $1.
Yeah.
But I could sell it as this could turn into more money. Like this is their rookie card, Prism rookie card, Optic rookie card. This is going to turn into something. And you look at it now, those guys spent $45. Usually I'd run a deal, 12 pulls, $45 shipped. And there was Kobe White rookies in there. There was,
Baisley.
They got their money's worth. Exactly. Like they got their money's worth now if they kept those cards.
Like,
and even so, if you lost, like you still won.
You still had something, yeah. Like,
mm-hmm.
like for numbers perspective, like so, and we learned as we went. We kind of went through the same journey. Like when we got to Mosaic, Riley would say he opened up. Well, one night, for example, for the audience, we were like on video chat on Messenger, and we were going box for box for Mosaic. But the thing is that people don't realize. So let's say if Riley opened 2 boxes, he pulled a silver Zion. That's amazing. He made his money. But the base, Baisley, base, Darius Garland, I don't know, whatever, all the parallels of vets, he's making quadruple those boxes in his STAXX. He's putting those cards in his STAXX. So he's essentially ripping for free. He's getting paid to rip Mosaic. That's essentially how it works. So if you don't hit a big card, that's cool. Put it in my STAXX. I still made, $50 off that box, essentially. It's crazy, yeah. But it comes from being smart and, dedicated to the craft. Like not everyone, everyone could do it technically, but it takes getting that following and grinding. It's a grind. It
is a grind. Like packaging, packaging. Oh my gosh, man. Like, and I was working full time. I was in school full time, and I was in baseball. So I was busy all the time. But like we get done at practice at 9. I'd go live. I'd do like, I don't know, like 200 pulls. Then I got to pack all that stuff. I'm not going to bed till 2, 3. Get up, do my day. It was a grind, man. But like, if you get creative with this stuff, I've definitely been leaning more towards grading lately. But I have my STAXX ready to go again, and it's gonna be crazy stuff, like PSA 10s, BGS cards, like insane. Like I got a Devin Booker RPA, like I got some crazy stuff, and I'm looking forward to it. But if you get creative with cards, like there's so many ways you can make money with it. It's not just grading, like it's not just flipping boxes. I do plenty of that myself too, and there's so many ways you can make money in this hobby. It's insane.
And that's what we try to touch on. Like there's not just one way to do it. Like you can do it however you want. Like we all 3 differ in certain things that we do. We all 3 share similarities too. So that's the beauty of it. Like me and Justin, like there's times where like I'm like, dude, that's retarded. Why are you doing that for? And then he'll come up big.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we differ on a lot of ideas, and we all 3 differ, but we all share like similar ideas too. So it's a beautiful thing, man. It's just a lot of fun to do. Like, if you don't like to grade or you don't like to do box breaks or whatever you don't like to do, there's plenty of other options for you to do. So that's what's so fun about it. Like, however you want to get in, you can get in. And if you're creative and dedicated and disciplined really and get the following, you can, you say you paid off $23,000 of student loans in your dorm room with a little 2-row box that cost $2 and just
exactly, man. And it was a hustle. Like I did it. Like people didn't believe me. Like they'd see this like my table just full of cards, and they're like, why are you doing this? I'm like, man, I'm bringing in money. Like, I got stuff to pay. Like, I can't, like, I went to school to be a police officer, and it's like, it's going to be years before I pay that off. Like, you don't make much money doing that. Like, it's something you just kind of grow up in wanting to do. And now I'm trying to take the card game and invest it into another business that my family has going, and then also kind of do something. I want to, like, end game, I want to have like my own card shop. Definitely tough nowadays, but it's really nice. Even like, I've been in my, just because it's the off season, like, things are down. Obviously, basketball's not going on. I've been flipping boxes, and like, between flipping boxes and doing STAXX, like I said, paid off my student loans, and I also bought a 2017 Mazda 6. I always wanted a Mazda 3, Mazda 6 growing up, and I got, like, it's not like my dream car, but it's like the car I always wanted, like, realistic car I wanted. And I was able to get that too. Like, my mom thought I was insane until she'd give me so much crap about cards. Like, you have cards everywhere. She'd come see me at my dorm. Like, you need to clean this up. What are you doing with all this? Like, it's for kids, like, all this stuff. And when I pulled up she actually went to pick up my car, and I handed her the money, and she's like, where did you get this money?
I thought you were selling drugs. You're selling cardboard.
Exactly. She's like, what are you doing? It's like, yeah, cardboard crack. That's what it is, man. And she's all about it now. She doesn't give me too much crap about it now. It's pretty cool.
I know we've all three have been in a situation, Justin. I mean, I've been to Justin's house with my cards and his cards out on the table doing whatever. People were like, what are you all doing? Like, y'all, like, this is like, now they know, but like, 8 months ago, they're like, what's going on here? Like, y'all like wasting your time. Or like, my wife, my dad, no one was like, ever thought this was possible. I know your parents, the same thing. I know Justin, we've had his friends or people he's known has been at his house, the same thing. And it's crazy because now they're all believers. I have plenty of friends.
Exactly. I have plenty of guys that gave me crap. Like, what are you doing? Like, and now they're trying to get boxes off me. I'm driving all around every morning to get some boxes. Like, hey, can I get some boxes? And I'm like, oh, remember when it wasn't, you were doubting me, and now they want in. And I get it, man. Hobby's never been like this before, and it's
crazy.
It's exhilarating, honestly.
Justin, I'll let you take it from here. Go to the next, talk about the next season, man.
Well, now that we kind of established like how you got in the culture, now that we're all here making money with our little established, each carved out corners of the game, looking ahead of this next season, who you looking at? Like, rookie wise, what teams do you think trade impacts are going to bring? What players do you think are going to bring prices up because of trades and new situations? Like, what are you looking at?
I personally, very intriguing team is the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think that team, with all their young players, like, I know he wasn't a rookie last year, but Shy, I mean, that's an easy buy for me. I bought a lot of his Prism base. I bought a lot of Darius Baisley. And didn't they I think they got one of the guys from Atlanta too.
Yeah.
Is it Fernando or is it Schofield?
Schofield was with the Wizards.
Yeah. Or it was either Fernando or Schofield, one of the two. But I think he's on Oklahoma City too. And I'm not saying, buy, but those guys are going to get a lot of minutes because it's just like a up and coming young team. And they showed last year, like, it's not like they lost Chris Paul, which is huge leadership, but Shy definitely held his own, and Baisley and then Dort came on strong at the end last year too.
The bubble,
yeah,
he was balling. Like,
he was good. You could buy his auto for 99 cents, and then it was worth some money there for a little bit.
Like Justin, I know Justin, he has a much better SGA collection than I do. I have like one nice out of 10 rookie auto, but like if like his cards in the beginning, his rookie year for the Clippers, like the first month, like Prism and that stuff, they were probably less than $1, like less than $1. And like me and Justin, like, like let's say now we're opening a box of, let's say, Optic. We see a Admiral Schofield rookie, rated rookie. We're like, oh, whatever, throw it in this pile. We see Zion, we sleeve it, top load it, put it over here. And SGA, we were treating him like he was, Schofield or Fernando. Yeah. And that's how he was viewed. And now he's viewed as the top rookie or one of the top rookies of his class. And Chris Paul, and I mean, he's been saying that he thinks he's going to be, one of the best in the league at some point when he gets to that prime, he'll be one of the best in the league. So if Chris Paul believes in you, you got to be doing something right.
So I think Justin was getting at for maybe this year. I'm still stuck in last year. Last year was like huge. That draft was so deep, but I mean, you got to go with and Edwards for sure. I mean, Wiseman obviously didn't get the playing time in college any of us wanted to see, unfortunately. But I'm interested in my Bulls trading up to get, or kind of reaching for Patrick Williams. A lot of comparisons to you can compare anyone to anyone, but Kawhi Leonard, we all know Kawhi. That'd be great. Chicago needs a winner, and all sports are pretty tough right now. Chicago needs a winner. That's my team. With him, Levine, we'll see where Patrick Williams goes. It could turn into another Kobe White situation where you're buying that. I just buy, like, I collect my team, but I also, collect other players. And I think I'm going to be buying a lot of $2 Patrick Williams cards because everyone's going to sleep on him, and that's definitely someone I will buy. I don't recommend necessarily, just because I do think it was a little bit of a reach, but the more I read up on him, a lot of good things I see. So
I know one guy for Justin and myself will be Cole Anthony, just because I'm a Carolina fan. Justin's a Magic fan, so for once we might actually agree on like rooting for the same person. Actually, I guess what we both like. I got Justin on Trey and Kobe White, but Cole Anthony, Justin already bought his downtown at the show.
Oh, yeah.
Traded a Chronicles blaster for it, actually.
That's
but yeah, yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Yeah, I mean, I like Obi Toppin solely off of his marketability. Like the name Obi, the number one. He's getting a Star Wars commercial. You know what I mean? At some point, he's going to be, if he just plays halfway decent, he'll be marketable at least at some point. And like with Kobe White, like how you're talking about SGA, even though they don't have Chris Paul, you don't need Chris Paul. You don't need to make the playoffs to make an impact in the game. Kobe White's a good example of that. Starting off $2 for his rookies left and right. And then he has his little 3 30-point games off the bench stretch, and them shits have his floor permanently raised at that point. That's all you need is one or two things like that. Flip them when they go off like that, and you're good to go. So one thing that interests me a lot, and like, I don't know about these rookies. There's so many questions. They haven't played in so long. They're also getting no summer camp. They're getting thrown right in the fire. They're about to start playing, right after they get drafted, like a month after. But for the card market wise, I'm curious how high like second year Zion, Ja, stuff like that goes, and if that carries, even if the rookie class is weak, do we still keep seeing the prices we're seeing and keep seeing even more climb just because the second years of that, like you said, the class is so deep. It's gonna be interesting to see where it goes.
It's gonna drive those guys up for sure. That because, like you said, no summer league, nothing. They can't get even like any games under the belt, and it's not like these coaches can throw them out there right away. Like they're gonna need to practice, watch the game, catch up to the game. I'm sure they'll get some minutes. Like I see a lot of projections for like the Warriors starting Wiseman, and like I don't know how you can throw a guy that barely played. He played, I think, less than 5 games in the NCAA, and Like, I don't know how you can just throw them out there in the pro game. Like, I understand like there has been in the past players drafted out of high school, but I think the game's a lot faster than it used to be. There's a lot more skill than in like the mid to late 90s. It's going to bring those second year guys. They're just going to get more time because they've had a season under their belt. I mean, and like any other season, but this is like, we're coming off of we've never started a season this late before, because of COVID. And I just don't see a lot of those guys getting a lot of playing time.
I mean, Wiseman's played like what, 5 games in like 2 full calendar years. But I mean, now pre-Clay injury, let's say if Clay didn't tear his Achilles, I think Wiseman, because the fact that so much attention on Steph and Clay on a high pick and roll, Clay in the corner, Steph and Wiseman high pick and roll, that's really going to be hard to guard. But now with Clay out, the other corner might have Kelly Oubre in it, which is a very respectable player and shooter, but he's not Klay Thompson. But if he had Clay in this corner, Oubre in this corner, if they still had him, Steph and Wiseman a high pick and roll. I mean, Wiseman's athletic. He can lob. He can catch the ball and make, 1 or 2 dribbles, spin, dunk it. Like, he has that skill set. But now that Clay's injured, I think that might hinder his ceiling for this season just based on floor spacing. But, I mean, I think he can still be good because he's a big man. He's not like a point guard who has to learn the entire system and so, all that stuff. I mean, screen for Steph Curry, catch a lob, make a few decent moves. I mean, I think you can easily average 8 and 8 in that system.
Yeah.
But like even back to SGA, like Trae Young won like 19 games this year, and his prices are 5x, Justin? What are they now? 5, 6x what they were last Christmas. So Christmas to Christmas, they're like 5, 6, 7x, like maybe more than that. Justin, I know, has some numbers, but I know so today, for example, for the audience, December 24th of 19, there's a guy who was trying to sell me 9 Trae Young base prism PSA 10s, 9 of them. It was like for like $62, $65 per. It was like 9 for whatever that number is. And I said no because it was like at the comps. I said no to that. Now you could buy only 1 for the price I was going to buy 9 at. So I guess that's 9x. I mean, technically. So we did the math today at Justin's house. I turned down an offer for 9 Trae Youngs. That's at the same price. You can only buy 1 of them today. So that's December 24th to December 10th today is. So less than a full year. And with the NBA only playing 3 months in between December and now. So it's crazy. And Trae Young won 19 games. So if SGA and the Thunder finish the 12th seed, but he's over here showing spurts of just greatness, I mean, Mike Henry, he's not in the playoffs, but like still his skill set and his ability is still being shown. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
In the last 90 days, Trae's up 40%. Trae hasn't played in a lot longer than 90 days. So like, it shows you the market is not all performance. It's hype, it's trades, it's rumors, it's Bobo was another great example of that.
Yeah.
Little Twitter highlight footage from some scrimmage, his shit took off. Like, he never even stepped foot on the court. That's one thing that always amazed me about baseball. I'm not into baseball, but like the fact that those prospect, first Bowman, whatever it was, that was like these dudes haven't even stepped foot in the majors in their
Dominguez, he's 17 years old, gets a card, and his autos raw were selling for like $1,500. Like, he's a monster. I don't know if you saw a video of him. Just insane, like crazy.
Yeah, Cody's told me about him, but like, yeah, it just blows my mind. Like,
well, he's just disgusting, and like $1,500, a guy should still be in high school right now.
Yeah, I said one thing that always amazed me about baseball was that the prospect cards, these people never even step foot in the league. And before that, I was saying it's based on performance and it's based on hype. And I said Trae's cards, in the past 90 days are up 40%. He hadn't played in a lot longer than 90 days, but his team situation and roster changes alone got his shit going right back up, getting ready for the season. Like the playoffs in the East, they're looking like they can make it. A lot of people now
Hawks, baby.
throwing the Wizards name in the hat. Like, I personally don't see the Pacers making it or the Raptors. I think they're both out this year, so that leaves room for Hawks and Wizards for me.
I mean, both conferences are going to be insane from like that 6 seed to that 10, even the West 12 seed. Like, I mean, I think the Hawks make it. I mean, the only thing is the Hawks are young; they don't know how to win yet. Rondo being there might help them, but I'm biased. Ice Trey. I mean, I'm hoping the Hawks make it just for to see them in the playoffs, and they'll probably get bounced in the first round, but to see them get that experience because they're young. I mean, Reddish is what 19, Trey's like 20, Hunter's 19, like 20, John Collins is what 22. Like these guys are all like under 25, so like it's crazy. So like, they can get that experience now, here in 3 years, when LeBron's on his way out, and all these other guys are getting older and getting out of their prime, they can emerge into a top 4, top 3 team in the East. So, I mean, I'm biased, but that's just my input on the Hawks. I need to see Ice Trey go crazy.
We need to put some respect on Zach LaVine's name. Dude's a beast. He was getting coached by a glorified high school basketball coach, and I'm not exaggerating. Stories coming out about Boylan making them like run. What's it called when they run up and down the court? It's been a minute since high school basketball.
Yeah, like
Suicides.
Yeah, making them run suicides. I think with Billy Donovan, LaVine, obviously Kobe White, Markkanen, Carter Jr. There's too much talent there to not make a push at the playoffs. I think with a actual NBA coach with some success, I have to expect as a Bulls fan that we got to get in there as like the 7 or 8 seed.
And we're for
So
sure
don't
getting
sleep.
the play-in games this year, right? We're getting the whole play-in thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got a shot no matter what, and I think they'll be competitive. I don't know. Their schedule is tough though in the beginning of the year. Wow, it is tough, but I think they can make a little run. The Wizards though, they're intriguing with Westbrook. I like that. I think it's 2 guys that are used to having the ball in their hands all the time, but Beal was different last year. They weren't that good, but Beal was insanely good last year. So,
and Beal's very capable of being a spot up catch and shooter if Russ wants to create, but Beal can play the perimeter and get his shots off. Whereas Harden, like his whole shots mostly come off dribbles already. Like he needs the momentum, he needs to create something, he needs to get his little rhythm. Whereas Beal, I feel like, can just catch and shoot, so he might work better with Russ than Harden did.
Yeah, and I think that just opens up more for Rui too. A lot of people I held a lot of Rui before people were holding him. I thought, to be honest, when I first got in, I was like, obviously Zion, but for some reason I was holding a lot of my Rui too. So I hope so for my sake that he goes off. And I think no matter what, unless injury, I don't think these guys are going down. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be insane. The market's going to get ridiculous. It's going to price people out of the hobby again.
I said that today. I told Justin it's going to become either a rich man's hobby, or it's going to have to something's going to have to give, because it's hard to really buy this stuff anymore. Like it's with all the hype and everyone getting in it, and with COVID, supply was kind of being limited for a while, and then demand was at all-time high. So, I mean, Rui, there's a lot of rookies, but the thing is, they only have like a 3-year window. So, for example, I know this year's draft class, base Prism PSA 10s of this year's draft class, I believe there's 12 guys who sell over 110, 120 bucks. 12 out of, that's crazy. Last year, I think there's 8 or 7. Year before that, every year it drops off. Year before that, so Tatum's class, there's only 6 or 5 left that sold over 110. And if you go back, I think then it's it stays at 5 for 2 or 3 years, and then it drops off to 3. So every year, let's say let's say if Rui doesn't really do much again this year, maybe by year 3, his prices of base Prism, if he averages 8 points a game, 3 straight years, his PSA 10 prism is not going to be worth $150 anymore. But there's so many guys that we're like, we think that could be great. Cam Reddish, could be great. RJ Barrett could be great. There's so many guys, Kevin Porter Jr. could be really good. But like, we just we'll find out soon enough. I guess it's a guessing man's game. So
Baby Giannis, say cool.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
CJ Washington dating Brittany Renner. Yeah, sky's the limit.
I mean, there's a lot of chances, man. It's got what's so exciting. Like, I know on Justin, man, he has the market movers, and he's been doing a lot of research on that for his collection and certain players and their percentages, and it's mind-boggling to look at. I'll let him touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can bring it up here if it still lets me. So is it showing it to you or just me right now?
Yeah.
It's showing you. So this is just the percentages just of the players. So this is across all the trackable sets that they track this player for, which is a ton of different stuff. But essentially, if you've never used market movers, one thing to note is this is raw PSA 10, PSA 9 on some sets, but nothing that's numbered is on here. So everything on here is base prisms, silvers, greens, red, white, and blues, select short prints, all that kind of stuff. So like Trey, we were talking about, Shy Gillis up 55% in the last 90 days, 37.8, in the last 30. Actually down this week 5%, probably because it went so crazy when he got traded. It's starting to correct itself slightly. Tyler Harrow up 20% in the last 30 days. Like, why? Some percentages, like, Tyler Harrow hasn't done anything since the finals. Like, the Heat haven't really made any major moves. That's one to wonder. Last 30 days, Markelle Fultz up 32. We all know what that's about. Him, Cole Anthony, and Chumo KK about to get about the 5th or 6th seed this year, so that's a given. And then you look at, like we were talking about, Trey, 40% in 90 days. Like, it's just,
I mean, like, look at Luka, man. In the last month, he's still up like 14% when he's already been at all-time highs like every month. Like, he keeps climbing. It's just, now if you bought Luka, imagine buying Luka the first 2 months of his rookie year. Imagine if you spent $10,000 on Luka his first 2 months of his rookie year. Imagine that return right now on Prism. Like,
yeah, it's insane. If you look at one of his cards, if you were to chart one, like one that I thought was wild. Oh, well, this is everything, not just mine, but let me go to mine. Where's that cracked ice? This card, this isn't even rookie. This is the second year orange cracked ice. Like, you can see here at one point you could get these for $347. That's a low pop 80. Your guys' faces are in the way on my home.
As a PSA 10, though, right?
As a PSA 10, yeah, $875 now.
So 1 month ago, $370.
Yeah, and all the way to $875, and the one before that was $400. They've been at $400 all the way till then, but then that one blows up for what? Like, who knows? Makes no sense. And that was a
second year.
Yeah, second year. It just makes this. It just blows my mind. Like, these numbers never cease to amaze me, even though I deal with them every single day. Like, you never know.
I get it though, because no one. I didn't think of like a second year card being anything great when this product was released, Prism or Optic or anything. Even with like the first year LeBron, like no one thought of that. With that pop count being so low, that it is going to drive these prices of these cards that you would never think that would be $1,000 cards to be $1,000 cards. It's crazy.
I mean, you know how many LeBron prisms of this year and Luka prisms of this year that I like not threw away, but I put in like for like $2 for in a repack, or I just sold them to someone in bulk. Like I remember I sold I think 10 Luka second year base prisms for like $24 to someone one time. Like, obviously like 6 months ago, but That's like $2 a piece. Now they're like what, 20, 22 raw? Might be more than that now. It might be up to 30. I'm not sure, but just raw base prisms of Luka's second year. I sold a silver LeBron prism this year for like, what was it? Like, this was 8 months ago. It was like $30, Justin, something stupid.
Yeah.
And now like a piece of 10 of that's like, it was like, up in that 600 range. I know they dropped down to like 4 something now, but it's a crazy, crazy time. And one thing that we've all three learned recently, which I want to talk about, is the card show experience. Like going to the card show. So I know me and Justin, we just had one last Sunday. Was our third one setting up at, our fourth one attending, but we broke all-time records. Like we did really well in the first two, but we tripled that in this past Sunday. So really, really well. It's a fun, time to network, meet people. Like now that we've been there for 3 times, we kind of establish ourselves. People know to come to us for certain things, certain products. They know who we PC. It's really cool. It's a lot of the shows. I did a partial trade. I got some nice pickups recently. But I know Riley, we're in West Virginia. Riley's in a whole different state. So I'll let him touch on his experience at his card show. I know he did really well also.
So I'm in Upper Michigan, the Upper Peninsula. There's nothing up here. We have like one bigger city, Marquette, Michigan. There's no card shows. I have to drive 100 miles to Green Bay to get to a card show. It's very limited, and I come with a lot of like high-end stuff. And the first time I sold a decent amount of stuff. It was definitely worth my time, but none of my high-end stuff. I went there and I was kind of pricing stuff as I was setting up. So the first time I wasn't very prepared, but the second time I had everything priced out, and I didn't sell a lot of my high-end things. I think I sold one, what was it? A LeBron silver. I sold a LeBron silver, but other than that, like it was all just like a lot of stuff I've ripped out of Mosaic singles. And I did like, for what I sold, it was crazy. I did like $2,500 out of just like $40 cards, $50 cards, and some wax that I had laying around just to get my money up. And I had $5,000 cards on the table that I didn't sell, but just like nickel and diming, I call it, just lower end cards that people are looking for to possibly get ready for this NBA season. And I look at when I'm there, like I can't grade everything. Like it's unrealistic. So you got to sell to grade. So that's what I did with all that money. I'm putting it all towards grading. So then when I get back, I can, exactly, cash in. Like it's sad to see something go. It's like, man, if I would have gotten a PSA 10 or, go for that pristine 10, like what could have been, but it's like, I have all this other stuff too that I can grade. And that's my big thing is sell to invest to sell again. And especially I get that stuff mid season. It's going to be big time this year. I think we'll get like 2 more years of this, like insane, but who knows too? Who knows?
And Gary Vee just said yesterday or today that he thinks 2021 is. We thought this past year was insane. He said he thinks it's going to go even crazier this year. So who knows? He's just another person like us, but
it's good though. It's good though that those guys say that because people listen to guys like that. And even if it wasn't, like, say if he didn't say anything, a lot of these guys, I'm not a huge fan of Gary Vee. I don't know if you do some research on his stuff with the Ronald Acuna Jr. deal. I didn't like how that all went down, but when he talks, people listen. And if people are saying that, it's only going to be good for collectors, investors, you know what I mean? It's only going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I know with the back to the card shows, like we've only been to the same one, Barbersville. You know, it's a decent area. We've been talking about going to like a bigger card show, like obviously the national. We all want to go to that. You know, just like some bigger card shows that happen throughout the country. So we definitely plan on going to one. Obviously, COVID has hindered a lot of that stuff, but we're definitely looking forward to that because same thing with us. Like we've sold. I mean, I sold a Luca for like 2,800, but most of our money has been coming from selling cards between $20 to like $200, like that range.
Yep.
And I have $10,000 cards I've tried to sell. And you know, most people don't come to the show with 10 grand. If they do, they'd rather buy, you know, 100 cards instead of one. So Justin made a ton of money selling. He was selling dollar cards, and he was selling like 50 of them each. You know, this guy bought like 50 singles that were like $1 each. Like so, Justin made a killing on the $1 to $5 cards, and then we both sold $15 here, $20 here, but it adds up, and we both sold a lot of slabs last time. And that Beckett order that we got back recently, we sold a ton of those. I'll let Justin talk about his. I mean, I know he was over there handing out slabs left and right.
Yeah, the first time I went, I'd only took the highest and the lowest. I took like a box full of like a 2-row full of slabs and like a box full of base. I was trying to move, and then what I noticed was as I shopped around and traded around, all the other tables had tons of raw parallels, RPAs, autos, napkins, different stuff like that. So this last show, I brought everything, and then just was sales everywhere. Like I have a 4-row. I have 2 4 rows of base, and then I have like a 2 4-row setup of like inserts. So like everything's top loaded, sorted by team by rookie, any kind of rookies, parallels, all the stuff you would use for STAXX. I got it in there. Now I might only get $1 for some of them, but then some of them, like I bought a lot of all the acetate rookies this year from the Australian Blasters, from Court Kings. I got the whole lot of them for like $25-$30 or something like that, and I was selling them for like $10-$15 a piece. It's a cool new rookie. People ain't seen it. That's some of them come for that much, depending on the player. So like, little stuff like that, people just go crazy for you. You never know what somebody's looking for. I had somebody spend like $30. They bought every Terrence Mann rookie I had, which I was very grateful for because I had Optic, Prism, pretty much everything I've ever pulled of him was right there. You cut deals, you trade. It's just a fun experience. I like the shows a lot. I definitely can't wait to get some like bigger, more populated, higher traffic shows in like bigger cities. I look forward to that. National would be crazy. I'm down.
Well, we have to link up. We all three have to link up.
Yeah, no, it'll happen. It will happen. COVID just needs to calm down. But at the show, I had a couple. I had some guy. I pulled a John Morant Genesis NBA debut out of Mosaic, and this guy was hounding me about. He wanted to trade me straight up for a Giannis Prism BGS 9.5, and like as much as I wanted that, like I am a firm believer in, yes, Giannis is that card is worth a lot of money right now, but because I have this first year they ever did this Genesis stuff, short print, John Morant, the number 2 rookie, plus people will argue number 1 in this class. Like, I think down the line, this could be like a really big card. And I turned it down. I did make a deal. I'm not a huge collector in football, but I did trade a couple just 9 Zions, BGS 9 Zions for a 9.5. I think it was a true gem Aaron Rodgers rookie. And I know like everyone's thinking Mahomes, all this stuff, but I think Rodgers just hit either 400 touchdowns or I think it was 400.
Yeah.
There's not going to be many people like that. And you can, if you go to shows, you can find his like tops rookie for under $40. Crazy, like must buy in my opinion. Quarterbacks are usually the only thing that sells in football for big time money. And I think that when I saw that dude have that Rogers, and he's like, "Oh, I'd be down for the 2 9 Zion." I was like, "Take it." And that's another card. If you look that up, trending up crazy, like insane, especially after the 400th touchdown. But I think he's got another Super Bowl in him. I think he needs to get out of Green Bay, but quit beating on my Bears. But yeah, that was my favorite thing about the show was that Rodgers. As funny as that is, I am a Bears fan, but
I mean,
super pumped up about that card.
You can find some crazy good deals at the show. Like, I mean, like I remember where you go around, you look at these tables, and like the guy who bought Justin's Terrence Mann's, he probably like, that guy bought him for a reason. He thinks that Justin had him undervalued, so he might have thought he left that show thinking, "Oh, I just got 30 Terrence Mann's." Like, awesome. He's a believer in that. So you go to these shows, and Justin, it's a win-win. Justin could give two craps about his Terrence Mann's. He wanted the dollar bills, and that guy was super excited. Like, I found a Ben Simmons. It's up there. It's a True Gem Select Tricolor rookie of Ben Simmons. I got it for like dirt cheap, because the guy's like, he was like, "Oh, Ben Simmons and he can't shoot or whatever," and didn't believe in him. And I got a Ben Simmons True Gem Tricolor, back at 9.5 rookie for dirt cheap. And obviously, I'm biased. I like Ben Simmons, but I mean, he's a jump shot away from being a top 5 player in the league. So
yeah, for sure.
But I mean, he averages 19, 8, and 8 for his career. Like, like he's doing something right. But I mean, the shows are fun. They're a lot of fun. They're another aspect of the hobby. We talked about either STAXX. Riley's the Fatal King now. He switched from STAXX King to Fatal King, and he just left us.
I'm back.
But there's breaks, there's grading, there's just buying stuff raw. There's all these things they do, and the show is just another aspect of it. And like me and Justin and you include, we probably do a little bit of everything. I haven't done a bunch of fatals, because if I lost a fatal and had to pay like $100 and didn't win anything, I wouldn't sleep for a week. But
I've been lucky so far. Eventually, you'll see me not doing it anymore, and you'll know why.
Now, this is just like a random quick hitter, because I really forget what's some of the best cards that I pulled for you. I really don't remember. So if you remember any of them. I don't remember. This is just off the top. Some random about this.
See.
I really forget.
I gotta think.
I pulled so many cards.
I've passed on packs and watched you pull some crazy stuff. The Tony Parker 1/1. That's like my best card probably.
Oh yeah,
compared to Spectra.
Yeah, that's nasty. Tony Parker 1/1 Spectra.
Nebula.
Got it
right?
graded. Nebula. Yep.
Remember this break? You were in this, right? You were in this draft.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because didn't you draft ahead of me? You had like the second pick, right? Or
yeah, I did really good in that break too, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you killed it. You killed it one hand. I remember KC. He killed it one time too.
With the Kings, I got that Vince Carter numbered to 10 auto.
This is it.
That's crazy. What do you have on the price tag? There's probably not enough zeros that you can fit on that price tag for that card.
And this is a True Gem Plus 210 subs out of 10 gold Zion. The story behind this card was I was ripping for like 2.5 hours, and
it was super late too.
It was like 2 a.m. All right, 2 a.m. and there's like 4 people left in the stream. It was like me, Riley, this guy named Nolan, and I don't know who the people were. But there's like 4 packs left, and I told Riley, "Come on, buy them." Like, come on. He's like, "No, like you buy them. Like, stop being scared of money." I was like, "Man, like I've ripped enough."
I bought one pack.
Well, you told me, you said, I told you if you buy one, I'll open them. So and I told you, remember I said you choose which pack out of these 3 or 4.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to choose them for you. And you chose. I mean, you got a Giannis tricolor. You got a nice card, but I hit the gold Zion and the silver scope Zion in the same 2 packs. Like,
I picked the wrong pack. It was 2 out of 3. It would have been solid, but
yeah, like
I still did well.
Yeah, you definitely made your money, but you had a 66% chance of hitting that Zion, and you don't have ice in your veins, I guess. I'm not sure, but that was.
I guess.
It was 2 a.m. and the stream is not in existence because I acted a little out of hand. Very excited. I might have said some words that shouldn't be broadcasted about 500 times in pure excitement and joy, because that could be eventually, if he ends up being a Hall of Fame, that could be like a $50,000 plus card. Like it could be.
Yeah.
Right now it's probably in that $5,000 to $10,000 range, I would guess, but you just don't know. So imagine opening a pack that I was already up on the box. I sold 10 of the 12 packs in the box, made my money back. I opened that for free essentially, and I pulled a huge card. So like that's what's crazy. But yeah, I mean, I remember I forgot the Tony Parker Nebula.
Vince Carter number to 10.
That Vince Carter gold. Yeah, that was a pretty
that
sick
thing's
card.
nasty. What else have you pulled me? Anthony Davis gold.
The gold AD. Yeah.
The Colin Sexton out of 10. Auto out of Mosaic. That was nasty. That's a really nice card.
Yeah, you definitely got your.
You've pulled me some monster. My fair share. Like you, I think I've gotten a couple job bases off of you. I'm trying to think what else. Some really. This is my go-to when I'm breaking. I don't usually break very many other places. You guys with those case breaks of Spectra, man, that was
those were the days, man. Like,
oh my gosh,
because we haven't broke. We did first off the line in case in October, but between like July and now, I really haven't broke that much because like the prices were just out of hand, and like I have to charge X amount of dollars just to break even. It just doesn't make sense. Like, but we're getting back into it, trying to find some good deals, some bang for your buck. And but I definitely miss those days, man. That December and last December to like June, July. Oh man, like we were breaking case breaks, half case. We were doing like 4-box no-R breaks, like, and no-R was crazy sick. Like, all the select boxes we were opening, it was just so much fun. Like I definitely missed that for sure.
Cornerstones. You pulled me some good cornerstones.
I got some.
A patch, Luca patch. You pulled me too. Yeah, it was really low numbered. I still have that.
The Luca patch, and me and Justin, man, we used to order a case of Spectra and just like we draft teams and do it ourselves. Like that's how like affordable. It was affordable. I mean, I'm not saying it was cheap, but we wouldn't do that right now. I would never do that right now. But we were paying $250 a box. We do a whole draft for 8 boxes. It was so much fun. Like that's part of the hobby that I miss, is the fun in that, because now if you do it, it's like if you don't hit, you're losing a lot of money, and it's not much fun. But the risk reward just not really there. It's like such an imbalance right now. But yeah, I definitely miss opening. Justin always killed me usually in the drafts. Besides our most recent ones, like the Spectra, I got the jaw out of 5. Justin like made me open it, like, because I wasn't going to. He convinced me to open it, and I hit Justin has bullied me into being a degenerate, but I've came up being a degenerate. So, I will give Justin some credit for that.
Thank you. That's well deserved. I accept that credit.
It's on record.
My favorite Justin moment while breaking with you guys is I pulled a Markelle Fultz, and you guys shipped to me twice. He's like, I'm trading. He wouldn't ship it because he wanted me to trade him for it.
I think it's still at Cody's. I don't think I ever did trade you anything.
I think it's still there.
Yeah, I think at the time all I had was marketing for the Bulls, so I'm gonna have to get some of this Patrick guy and get that off you.
Here it is. I've had this for like 6 months.
I'm eventually gonna get it. I forget about it till it gets brought up. But yeah, I'm gonna get some Patrick White. Is that what his name is?
Yeah, Kobe White and Patrick Williams. Yeah, you have to send
I'm
2 of those guys.
I'm gonna get some Patty.
Hey, Riley, what about the stream where Justin pulled the collar blast LeBron while he was like not right side mind?
Were you watching that?
Biggest card in the history of the page, I would think.
Oh, for sure. It's one of the biggest cards in the modern sports card era. Like, The card sold for $35,000.
It's on you. It's on YouTube. Me and my little cousin and his friend drunk as fuck. He's got a drill. He's in the back of the table with a drill just for no reason. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Paul's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's like, oh, this is nice.
He hands
One
it
of
to me,
the-
and I'm just like, oh my god.
Hey, I was sitting there saying, dude, you got to like take care of that right now. That's a crazy card. I mean, that card, the guy got it graded and sold for $35,000. Like that's one of the biggest cards of the modern sports card era. Like it's definitely up there in the upper echelon for sure. Like, and that was
Yeah.
pulled. And just the fact that the stream that was pulled on is just
The
like,
fact
man,
that it graded so well too is hilarious.
yeah, it's a crazy thing. That's definitely one of the biggest cards that we've ever seen, like in person. That's insane. One little announcement we have is today we had our meeting to set up this as a LLC. So bigger moves coming forward in the next year. Starting an LLC up, we can hopefully one day get some allocations and have access to a ton of different sports and boxes, and it's not limited to basketball. You know, we have UFC, Pokemon, baseball, football. I mean, NASCAR. I mean, whatever basically there is, if we can get in through distributors. So that's going to be a big step forward for Stepback Sports and our members and us as me and Justin as the owners of it. But we're definitely excited for that. So a bunch of stuff. 2021. I mean, 2020 was crazy. 2020 was crazy, but 2021, now that we all three have learned in 2020, like we all three underestimated the market heavily.
Mm-hmm.
And we still, while we had knowledge of it. So, now, I mean, I'm going to say we're not like vets, but we're all three very knowledgeable. We've all three done very, very well in the card game. So the fact that we're starting right here to start 2021 with, this upcoming season, and now the demand's at an all-time high, I'm really excited for what we all three accomplish next year as well. It's going to be really fun. And, and like I said, me and Riley, we send messages at least 4 to 5 days a week. And like, I don't even know this dude in real life. I would give him buckets for sure. There's no doubt. I can't give him buckets.
Oh my gosh. Don't get me started.
Someday we're gonna have a Stepback Sports convention, and we're gonna have all these motherfuckers, Kyle, Andrew Juski, and all these people.
Mike Frank. Yeah. I mean, like it would be like the dopest thing to have like a annual. I'd say like sometime next year. Obviously, after all this COVID crazy stuff, hopefully dies down a little bit. Have like a crazy like. I mean, it had to be. It'd be very unlikely to get. More than 50 people in from the group because everyone's across the country and like work schedules, families, etc. But like if we could get like some like scheduled event like 6 months ahead of time, that would be really crazy. That'd be sweet because we never met any of these guys in person. Like besides the guys
do like a step back show and then like hang out.
Yeah, like host a big show. Yeah, it'd be crazy for sure. It'd be awesome.
Everybody bring their shit and everybody just buy and sell and trade. You know what I mean?
It'd be so cool.
It would be sweet for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. 2021, man. Like we've all three accomplished crazy things. I'm looking forward to 2021 and seeing us all. Riley said, he paid off student loans and bought a car as a college kid. Me and Justin have done some insane things as well. So it's just, and the thing is, we're all three. Where we are. We all playing. This is just the start. This is just the beginning, and our beginnings, looking awesome. And I think our future is going to be even better. So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited to watch the card game keep evolving too. Like, every couple months there's some new game. Somebody's got a Monopoly board or some bullshit out doing some new goofy ass shit, or like, all these cards we have at PSA that we're going to get back in the spring. That's a whole nother big batch. It's a revolving door. I love getting some
in
new
2022,
stuff.
you mean?
We're getting that back in spring or summer for sure. We're gonna be loaded.
I'll be like 40 years old. I mean, one thing I am looking forward to is the the grading companies evolving and adapting to this demand. And are we going to go to like we're going to get rid of the humans and get rid of the subjective opinions? Are we going to find some kind of new technology that is not subjective and not biased and just strictly like a robot kind of thing. Like, I mean, we'll see. I mean,
PSA got sold, right?
Yeah, I mean, Nat Turner bought PSA sold for $750 million. So new ownership there, and he's a collector himself. So I think that'll be good. A collector who's been a lifelong collector, buying this out, he wants what's best for. Obviously, he's going to take care of his own agendas and his money, but us as collectors as well. I think he'll look out for us, and I'm really excited to see what happens. So it's not only the singles and the boxes, and it's a huge aspect of stuff that just goes on, and like the grading is a huge part of it. If you want to get the max money of your cards, you have to get them graded. That's just all there is to it. Grading is essential.
There's a new grading company too. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's like someone that worked for BGS, and they started, I think it's like CSG or something.
There's always like
I know there's like
SGC.
Yeah, but it's different. They have like subgrades too.
Yeah, I've seen SGC. I've seen SGC, and there's another one too. Yeah, I mean, I've never sent them anything, so I mean, not right now.
It's a legit. I was. It's not something I'd consider until I got going, but the video is very like professional. Like, they're gonna try to make a run, but SGC tried to too, and it failed miserably, in my opinion.
It's just hard because Beckett and PSA are just known as the top two, but not everything lasts forever. So someone new might come up, and someone new might be the first people to implement this robotic grading, and that could put them, if it has good reviews and good feedback, that could put them, as the best. So
even just sheer volume, there might be too many people grading too many cards for PSA and Beckett to keep up and maintain this party thing they got going on where they're the top two. One of these third parties, whoever does the best, highest quality, most consistent work is going to climb and get more business just by sheer volume. I mean, us three alone got 2,000 cards graded last year. I mean, like, times how many people in the hobby, like, there's just, they already are cutting off their $20 economy stuff. Like, no, we can't even keep up. It's going to cost you $50 to even get in with us. Like, it'll be real interesting. We're going to see a lot of stuff. And like Gary Vee talked about in one of his interviews I was watching, like he said, I think whoever comes up with the nicest new display to hang on your wall and put a graded card or 3 or 5 is going to make like a $10 million company like in no time, because we're going to want ways to display this stuff. And he's right. Like, there's not that many good graded card displays, or, think about whoever invented those white 2-row, 4-row fold up boxes. How rich is that person? I mean, that idea, and why do we use those? Because they're cheap and affordable, and everybody kind of culturally agrees that that's the move. But like, somebody might come up with a better box, or
imagine
whatever, like
card stands, card stands.
Yeah, like
sleeves, top loaders. I mean, all that stuff. Like, it's just
everything. It has the potential to evolve. As the money gets in the culture, you'll see companies come through with innovation, start competing. That's what I mean. It's going to be. I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that's all. I mean, one thing I definitely want us to do before we get off here is try to end every video with a little draft. Have a little round robin draft, a little snake draft. We have the 3 of us. It's our first guest. So, what we're going to do, we're going to draft. It doesn't have to be the best. I know I'm not talking about value-wise the best, but our favorite like SP cards, cases, whatever. Just your favorite, best-looking cards in your opinion. We can do you want to do top 3, top 5? What do you want to do?
Top 3 apiece. That'd be solid.
Top 3. Our top 3, and we'll let Riley go first. He'll get the first pick of the draft, since he's our first guest.
All right.
And it's not. This is not based on sheer just the value of the card. Just what you think your favorite card is, like, not player wise, just the set. Like, that's. I'll give you an example when it's my turn, but just.
Yeah, totally. I think like I'm not going off of like value, but I think the tiger stripe on a lot of the cards looks really sick, and that is a huge hit. But I've always liked that card. I always buy my favorite players like that are not very much, like
The
Zach
affordable
LaVine.
ones.
Yeah, exactly. Like I got a couple of Zach LaVines and stuff like that, and those are one of my favorite. After getting a stained glass in person, that's nasty too.
Well, yeah, you only get one pick, so you gotta. It's a draft.
Oh shoot, my bad. All right, yeah, we're good.
So,
I thought we're doing top 3.
You're doing Tiger Stripe?
Yeah, Tiger Stripe.
Yeah,
sure.
well, we're gonna draft him, so we're going.
well, we know who's taking second.
So I appreciate going through.
Yeah. So yeah, you want to go second or me?
Go ahead.
Listen.
Go ahead.
What is it?
Go ahead. I'll take the back-to-backs. Yeah.
I mean, I gotta go. I'll go ahead and bring mine out.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, we're bringing them out.
I mean, we don't have to, but my personal favorite. Shout out Dylan Brown. My personal favorite. My favorite cards. It's funny. He said Tiger Stripe mine's the courtside zebra stripe. I love the courtside zebra stripe. It's terrible.
Oh, that's an awesome LED light bar, dude.
Yeah, but like you can't really see it, but the courtside zebra stripes are just so clean. I mean, and it's AI, like that white jersey with the black letter, and it's just a sick card. Like, but yeah, my first pick is definitely the courtside zebra stripes. Those are just amazing cards.
All right. Well, first is easy, pretty much the staple of my insert collecting career, the Donruss Net Marvels from this year. Bought one box of Donruss Net Marvels for like $120, like cheap. It makes me sick to think about how cheap that was. And Cody told me it was trash. Don't open it. It's a stupid set, all this shit. You know, I get a Ja Morant press proof Net Marvels gold. I'm like, oh wow. Like at the time it wasn't worth much, but I was like, that's a sick looking card. Comic books. Our society loves superhero comic book culture. You know what I mean? Avengers, like the biggest movie ever. Like, so I'm like, okay, this is definitely worth something eventually, or it's just gonna be cool at least. If nothing else, I want it for my own PC. So, but the more I thought about it, the more I seen the other ones. I seen how cool the Zion look, Luka, LeBron. I bought a ton of them. I mean, you know, every single one of them almost. All my normal ones graded out almost 10s. I had 4 Zion 10s at one point. I had the Luka, the LeBron, the Ja. I almost have the whole set as base PSA 10s now. I love those. Those are great. I hope they keep making them. That's the first pick. And right behind that, I'm going to have to put the Absolute Glass cards. Weird, like not a popular set of cards. I have this year I bought the Trae Young second year glass PSA 10 for like $130. It's a pop one. You know what I mean? It's like, it makes no sense to me. The fact it's a case hit should make it worth that alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's a PSA 10 pop one. I got it for less than $200. I just whatever. But I like those glass cards. I pulled an AD one and got it graded with our first PSA thing a while back and got a 10 on it. I had a 10 Karl-Anthony Towns at one point. I think they're sweet, unique. Those are cool. That's my second one.
My oh man, I could have an easy top 5. My next pick is a tough one because there's so many I want to choose, but I'm gonna have to go down with one of my first set of bigger case hits that I ever pulled. It's out of the first set we really grabbed as a group and ran with. I'm gonna go with the downtowns, the out of the cornerstone. The downtown cards are really sick. Like, I don't have one on hand. Actually, I do have a Steph Curry right here. Once again, you can't really see it, but yeah, I love the downtown cards. It always has something from the city, the state they play in, and then maybe that person's background. Like, the artwork's really cool. It's meaningful, and it's a case hit too. So they're really cool cards. Riley, you got back to back, man. Close it out.
Perfect. All right. So I'll still get my pick with the stained glass. I bought one pack of Mosaic off a guy randomly selling packs, Mosaic basketball, and the third card in the pack was a numbered to 49 LeBron James MVP card, and then 2 cards behind that, I pulled a Trey Young stained glass, and just a beautiful card. I know they've done them in like Prism football, but that mosaic stained glass I think is a beautiful card.
And what that grade get, man? What'd you grade out?
True gem.
Jim.
True gem. BGS 9.5. Oh, it's
who
clean.
got that graded for you?
Oh, Stepback Sports, man.
Only
at Stepback Sports.
Trey should be here. It should be at my house right now. But
it almost sat next to Markel Fultz, I bet.
Hey, I tried. I told you. I said, hey, I'm not sending this back to you. We got to make a trade. But yeah, you did the smart thing though.
And then I get another one, right?
Yeah, it's your last pick. We're doing 3 each.
So I'm gonna do something different. Before I pulled this card, I wouldn't have came up with this, but there are numbered splash cards out of Optic, and I hit a orange Giannis, and that card was super clean. A lot of people probably didn't know that there was numbered cards because they're very hard to come by.
I tried to get an orange Devin Booker one on eBay a couple of times. They always went high, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, and they're very, from what I've seen, very easy to grade. I think I was 0.5 away from a BGS 10.
Yeah.
And beautiful card, one of my favorite cards.
I actually forgot about the splash, dude. Whenever we first opened Optic, me and Justin were like, oh man, like the hollows are just so clean. I forgot about those inserts. I'm glad you said that, because those were like my favorite. In February, like we were like, man, these were so clean. Like
as far as like non-short print inserts, that might have been the best one this year. Like it was
for
really
sure.
Cool.
Yeah, the hollows, like collars of those, yeah, they were sick. I wish I had like a whole set of like the rainbows of those guys. That would be sweet.
Yeah, that would be nasty.
My final pick, man, like I had like 3 or 4 that I really like. I'm gonna have to go, and both these cards are kind of similar, so I can't really choose. But I guess I'm gonna go the Nebulas. You know, like it's between Genesis and Nebula because they're both kind of similar in their artwork. But
that Prism from last year, Nebula, is disgusting. It's so nice. I saw someone had a Trey Young. Oh my gosh.
I saw the guy who pulled the RJ. I was watching that stream. He pulled the RJ Nebula. The Prism Nebulas, the Spectre Nebulas. You know, this Giannis Nebula. The Nebulas are just so clean. Like I love the Nebula cards. I only have, I think that one Giannis is my only Nebula I own. I pulled you the Tony Parker. I pulled a few, but only one for myself was the Giannis. But they're just so clean. Like have like that space kind of artwork. I love the Genesis too. That's what's hard for me to decide. But I'm gonna go with the Nebulas and Prism and Spectre for sure. Justin's last pick to bring us home. I have like 3 more that I absolutely love too.
Yeah, there's a lot that I like. Like one, I was gonna pick the Le Cinque Puibile, the weird Court Kings insert, but when I started thinking about Court Kings, my favorite one from this year, honestly, that I'm really curious how it plays out is Mount Zion. Cody has a nice slab of one, but like so weird that it's an insert but player specific and no other player has one. You know what I mean? That's like something about that just tells me that's going to be a valuable card. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? What other set can you name off top that has a one-off insert for one player only?
Yeah, that's huge. I remember when you pulled that and you asked, you're like, oh, that's probably like an okay card or something. And I went and counted, and you were shocked. You were shocked on how much it was going for.
Mm-hmm. If you are wondering, it's a True Gem Plus, by the way. It's for sale. It's for sale.
Link in bio.
No, I mean that's I remember I pulled that and I was like, not just an insert, and then like, because that's when we were doing our personals in our 1 year thing. I think is when we pulled that. We did a bunch of personals, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I remember I was like, I'll check it out, check the comps. And I was like, oh my goodness, like it was just crazy how much it was going for. Then I got mine graded because Court Kings always grades pretty easy. If there's no whiting on it and the corners are sharp, Court Kings is an easy grade usually. So I was happy with that. But a few others that didn't get picked that I personally love is the tie-dye select cards. Like the select tie-dyes, those are
Tie-dye D-Lo out of 25.
Like those tie-dyes are clean. I have that Trae Young tie-dye, the Luka, like they're just super clean. I love the Genesis. I said that already. And then obviously
Genesis is cool.
the one that I don't own and might never own is the Logo Man. Like the one of one Logo Man autos are sick. Oh man, the sneaker spotlight autos, those are one of my favorites.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Like the Trae Young one, like with the shoe and the auto, like the John Morant, they were just so clean. Like there's a lot of cards I like, man. That's like that.
My honorable mention would be Kaboom. I think those are really cool. I sent in a Kaboom Fultz and D'Lo rookie this with our last PSA order. Like I'm really hoping those great out.
Yeah, like with the card game, that's what's cool about it. Like you have your PC and you have your sets that you just like for appeal, and just that you are kind of like tied down to. Like I love the downtown cards, the zebras, like, and then and if you get those of your favorite players, it's for your PC. Like I don't know, it just makes you feel like I got a nice collection. I got my favorite sets of my favorite players. Sometimes they're not affordable. Like I doubt I'll ever have a Logo Man Trae Young, like a rookie one of one auto Trae Young, or whatever. I almost bought that Logo Man of AI, but it was a sticker auto, so like it turned me off of that. But but yeah, there's so many cool sets, man. Like that's what's cool about the card game is you pick your avenue and you roll with it, and you have your PC, you have your investments, you have your quick flips, and it's really just free game. There's not really a right way and a wrong way to do it. Now, there's definitely some wrong ways to do it, but like, it's not like this way or nothing. It's you have your own, make your own way and see what happens with it. But that's the fun of it. And the change over time. Like, I'm sure we've all three have changed our outlook in just 2020 several times. I used to complete sets, like the Prism sets of base and the collars, and sell them as sets. And I was like, okay, I'm tired of doing that. That just takes up so much time. It was fun at first. And I started putting my time and effort and money and other things. Like, then, Raleigh was the STAXX king. Literally every night or every other night he was live with STAXX. And then he started doing other stuff and started doing some breaks. He was doing some breaking. He was doing some, now he's the fatal god. Like he's the gorilla fatal god.
Flip some stuff.
Oh yeah, the flip game's crazy. And
I've been flipping a lot.
He's definitely in the Hall of Fame for flipping. There's no doubt about it.
Got very lucky with a girl I used to have a thing with, and her mom is the Anderson like big time manager. So I know
you left her and started getting with her mom so you could get the sweet connect. Yeah.
I mean, if need be. I mean, like that the tuition the tuition didn't pay itself off. No, I'm kidding.
Shout out any MPJ Holding, Excel, Anderson ladies that
yes,
work. Get us
thank
up.
you. What's up if I can make like a Tinder quick if need be. We'll just do it for only XL reps. Anderson, MJ, get at me.
We will work for wax.
Listen, my ring's on right now, but I cannot do that. Okay. I'll send you feet pics. But I mean, it's crazy, man. I'm really excited. This is our first time having a guest on. Riley's been in the group for I would just say maybe not all of 2020, but the majority of 2020.
All of 2020 is probably a year.
Yeah,
been a year.
Been a big time member. He's gave us plenty of ideas. We bounce ideas off each other back and forth. We both kind of lost our ass on what was that Tops? You made some money on the artwork Tops baseball. What was that called? I have like 30 of them.
Gallery or some shit. Or
what was I had like 100 of them right here. Let me grab one.
I hope it's not gallery. I didn't lose no gallery.
When he said artwork, I don't know. That's just what I pictured.
Yeah, and that's same here.
I know I have some somewhere. These, the Project 2020.
Oh yeah, we were late to the game. I
remember I called you. I said, "Man, listen, like, dude, these prices are crazy. Should I buy them?" You said, "I think we're a little late, but we can make some money." I spent like a couple, I got like literally like 100 of these, like just laying around. I remember Riley told me you can tell the story. He was like giving the kids in his neighborhood. He was like,
yeah, I was.
I was like, hey man, like what do I do? I can't sell this. Like I told Riley, I said, dude, if I get these for $19, there's no way I can't sell them for $19. And you can't sell them for $19.
You can't.
So,
It was literally, it was that one. Like, we were a card late to the game.
I got the
You're like, yo, like, should we buy these? But that just goes to show, like, you're not winning every time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah, you do come up. If you find something for, like, if you don't have to get like pay double, you should be able to get your money back if you're opening something or buying something like that to to rip or flip or whatever.
Yeah,
that was just a wrong place at the wrong time type of deal. If we were card before, we would have made plenty of money.
Dude, man, I bought Griffey and Jeter because they're some of two of the biggest icons in baseball history. And I was like, dude, there's no way I can lose at $20. What was that one Trout selling for? It was like insane,
like, crazy.
The guy bought it for like what, $30-$40 and was selling it for like high hundreds or thousands. I forget what it was, but it was insane.
Yeah, one of them hit 1,000. One of the Trouts,
and it was like $30, $30 buy. So like, I spent like $500. We were in I called you like at midnight. I was like, hey man, like, you think I should? You say, you say we can still make some money.
You were gung ho. Like, I didn't go too hard. Like, I lost, but you were like, man, I don't think I can lose. I spent
like $500 and bought a ton. I have literally a whole cabinet full of. Hey, if anyone's looking for Project 2020, they're $20 per. $20. Jeter and Griffey. Listen, I'm hoping that one day. That's why I'm just holding them. Like, I hope that one day these go up again. Like, if they do, hey, I'm ready for it.
Good giveaways.
Yeah, they're cool cards. They're exclusive. You can, the cool case. They're nice, but yeah, that's one example of our L's for sure. Is Topps Project 2020. I knew I was late, but I didn't think I was too late to at least make some money. But yeah, I was took an L on that. But but besides that, we, like I said, Riley's been in the group for a year now. He's got a ton of nice cards that we've done group subs together, bounce ideas back and forth. He always, like I said, bought Marvin Bagley's. He got me in a STAXX one time. I don't know if I hit anything, probably not, but
no, but I hooked you up.
Yeah, you did for sure. So it's just nice, man. Like I said, I don't know Riley at all in real life. I met him in the card game, and we've helped each other make a ton of money. So it's just funny. He's looking out for me. If he sees something on a group that he knows I like or that Justin will like.
Yeah, just today.
Yeah, today, or I'll do the same thing for him. So that's the beauty of this card game, man. Like, meet dudes who you might not know personally. You might not. I'm 25 years old. I went 24 years without even knowing this dude. Meet him online for cards, and now have each other's back and look out for each other and help each other make some money, man. So it's all about networking and getting those those good dudes who are in it, in it to win it with you. So it's pretty cool.
5-10 years from now, it'll be amazing to watch back on this episode, all three of us, and be like, we didn't know shit. Like, we had no idea what was about to happen.
Imagine if we aired this show, hey, me and you, Justin, even in January last year, or we go to May, whenever we were still doing really, really well in the card game.
Giving stupid ass advice. Yeah, flip these Prism Blasters for $60 a piece. You'll triple your money. It's a great deal. Sell them all.
More like me saying oh yeah, Select Basketball, which I've said from the jump. I thought Select Basketball was gonna be a huge product. I said that in the beginning, but I still flipped it.
I think it's gonna be number one. I think that's gonna be the card someday.
I said Select Basketball 1920. This set was so beautiful. I was only selling for $150 profit, breaking them, flipping them, whatever, and sometimes less than that. But I ripped cases of it, while at the same time I was saying I didn't practice what I preach. I said, man, if you hold these, you probably make a little bit of money. I didn't think this much money. Like I said, the boxes were $450, now they're $2,400. That's a $2,000 increase in less than 7 months. So can't predict it. That's a what if though. If I would have held those boxes I had,
That's a huge thing. What you just said is a huge thing. Practice what you preach. I've got caught with my pants down plenty of times in the card industry, but yeah, like I would say I'd be doing STAXX and I'd have LeBron Lakers base prism in my STAXX. There's another example. If you graded that at one point, that was a huge card.
Sure.
And I was saying, like, hold this card. This is a huge card. And here I was selling it for $4, where it turned into at one point $30 card. Like,
if I had $10 for every box that all three of us said, oh yeah, I'll hold some of this, and we end up ripping it, I'd have enough to buy me plenty of hobbies. Like, I know Riley and myself, we had a mosaic mountain. We had literally a mountain of mosaic boxes. And we're like, oh, dude, yeah, I'm going to hold some of these for next year, this and that. Week after week, I'd open 1 or 2 for myself, 2 or 3. Then we FaceTime each other, rip like 10 of them. Like, next thing you know, I have no mosaic left. So I have no.
I got some. I got a little bit.
Well, you just got some more recently, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I know Justin had those optic megas. Do you still have those? You still have any?
No, I had them for about 6 months. So that was the longest I held anything. I had 2 optic megas in my safe and 2 mosaic megas, but they all got ripped at the house one day.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, that's what we're all three. I'm gonna speak for you all. We're all three collectors and investors, and flippers. We do all three. So we make our money while we do our collecting. Like, it's
and innovators.
Innovator. That's another good one. Yeah, there we go. Fourth one. That's one of the most important ones for all three of our success so far, is being innovative and that. So I mean, it'd be cool if you just did 1 or 2 of them, but the fact that we do all of them, I think, really speaks to what we're really about and why we have the following we do, and the people who entrust all three of us with stuff. Riley doesn't know me at all. He'll send me thousands of dollars of cards are great for him. I could just block him and say, see ya. He knows I'm not going to. And same thing, I'll let, sometimes I trust Riley that he might have a tab for, X amount of days. I know he's going to get me, so I'm not worried about it. So, and that's what's cool about it, man. Meeting those good people who are with you. And it's just a lot of fun, man. I'm really excited for next year. And you never know, 3 years down the road, who knows? We might be we all might get into,
we might be doing one of these live at nationals or something.
I mean, you just never know what the future is going to hold. So I'm really excited for it, man. And oh man, did y'all see that?
Yeah, that one of your cats.
Yeah, I was literally she just sprinted through. Come on, Lily, you be a star. Come on,
come run all over the keyboard. Do a swanton bomb off the top of the couch.
We need some Jeff Hardy rookie cards.
Don't play with me. I'll get a Jeff and Matt dual auto on card National Treasures.
Yeah, you don't know about the Twisted Fate.
Dudley Boy's piece of the table, dude. Out of 5.
I hit someone with a Twisted Fate real quick, Matt Hardy style. But no, man, for real. I mean, I appreciate you hopping in here, Riley, and we'll do more of these probably in the future. But like I said, we're just getting started with this stuff. We haven't recorded in the past, I think, 2 weeks. We've both been extremely busy. House renovations, card shows, PSA submissions. It's just been a crazy 2 weeks. But our plan is to do 1 to 2 weekly, probably 1, I'd say, on the safe side. But looking forward to doing a lot more of these, and all three of us growing together, man, and keep the ball rolling and keep being successful and innovative. And
whole slew of hobbies coming back to the group. It's hobby season, so yeah, be ready. It'll be some fun stuff coming. Hopefully, we'll get some actual breaks on YouTube too.
Yeah, if Justin would ever download them and do it.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Sure.
Like I said, keeping it real, like that's like my homepage, like for breaking, and you're always trying to sell me stuff, which is good. It helps me out for what I got going on, and it's I really appreciate being number 1. Whoever thought of that means a lot, honestly. For
sure, man. I appreciate all you've done to help us and to help us grow as well, and inviting your buddies and promoting us and all that. So it's a win-win for everybody, and like I said, I'm excited. So
yeah, this is how the culture should be. People building each other up, sharing information. Everybody in this hobby knows something that we don't know. All this like only come to my group. Don't talk to anyone else. Like, you're my person. You're in my group. All that shit's got to die in 2020. We got to leave that shit.
Okay.
Oh, say names. Hey, you think I'm editing that out? You're dead ass wrong too. All right, episode 3's out. Later.
I'll see y'all.